doubles and coffee. Well, Express newspaper, when you're desperate, you just hit new levels of low, or you're beneath the white line in the road. Express newspaper. Imagine yesterday, I have to read an Express newspaper, back page, big headline, booze for Kamala. I said, boy, just so, well, you know your boy read the story? Michelle Benjamin is talking in Woodford Square, in the heart of the PNM beast, in the Port of Spain City Corporation, that inexplicably people just vote PNM. 92% is PNM. PNM could leave garbage on the street, homeless people all over, starving, nothing going on, pothole, no jobs. The buildings in Port of Spain, 60% fall away. They need rentals, no safety, no security, crime. You're getting robbed. You walk down there with a chain, it's gone. And them people, for some reason, in that Port of Spain area, will vote PNM. So Michelle Benjamin basically talking to a crowd in Balize House. Now the Express newspaper don't want to know how Balize House went up. How it moved from, as Rowley said, PNM, negative 4 million in 2011 to building a building that is there, and you could go and do the quantities and check the materials and check the price and check the design for $150 million. Them ain't interested in that. Them printing and making a story out of PNM people booing Kamala Persad name because Kamala blow them out in an election all over the country, except in Port of Spain, blowing them out 28 to 13 seats. Down in La Brave, point 14, people rejected the PNM. And the Express find that when Michelle Benjamin is making a speech in Woodford Square to PNM supporters, that they create a headline and say, the pan crowd boo Kamala. First of all, there's about 200 people. Secondly, the pan crowd in Trinidad and Tobago is all away. Trinidad and Tobago love pan from Chagaramas to Matlot, through the middle of Chaguanas, Cuba, straight down into San Fernando, Point 14, La Brea, cross to Mayaro, Manzanilla. The whole country love pan. So that a few people in a crowd, in a PNM nest, that boo Kamala, who cut the tail, is a story for the Express to try and give some sort of impression that the country or the masses or the population against Kamala. Express newspaper, Kamala is beloved. There was a crowd, for example, in Cuba on Monday night. Over 7,000 people love Kamala, scream. She took about 13 minutes to walk 150 meters. They report about cheers and screams and tears of joy for Kamala. You didn't write that. You write a few PNM boo. And they must be booing because they're belly hungry. And that's a story, Express. Well, let's analyze your story. If you say the pan fraternity boo Kamala, let's check. Who respects the pan fraternity more, Kamala or Rowley and the PNM? Kamala increased pan stipends for pan players from 500 to 1,000 during Carnival per player. Rowley dropped it back to 500. Tim Gopi Singh and Kamala Persad, the sister, put pan in schools. Upwards of 225 schools had pan in schools. The PNM, with former Minister Garcia and Lovell Francis, whose only claim to fame is he put a threat with electricity and alcohol in the waves in Maracas. They cut pan in schools across the board and then went to Schools Panorama and said, where my government schools? Kamala Persad Bissessa and the United National Congress with Basdo Pandey gave the pan fraternity 12 acres of land to build a home for pan. The PNM came back in with 1818 and a president who misinterpreted the Constitution, to put it diplomatically. And PNM never assisted the pan fraternity in finishing building their home and creating a mall and revenue and gas station and so on for the Pan fraternity. In fact, the PNM under Rowley, aided and abetted by a lady who seems to be more PNM than anything else, decided that it is logical to give away 12 acres of land, potentially 30 acres of land, development, assets, more commercial areas for Pan and Pan fraternity. Give up that for our old building on Wrightson Road in the traffic. That seems logical. So who respects the Pan? Who loves the Pan? So some PNM people boo Kamala name. What they boo that for? For the increased money for Pan players, for increased respect, for increased love, for Pan in schools, for increased investment. Why they boo it? So Express newspaper, if you think that the population does not live in this country where we know who is PNM, who is UNC, who is illogical PNM till they dead. PNM till they dead. They dead in, you know. All kind of thing killing PNM people in PNM constituencies. The PNM constituencies out of the 13 in the parliament now, go and check. All 90% of the hotspots in them constituencies, some of the constituencies, the entire thing is hotspot. Gun, crime, high unemployment, low education level, low pass rates, terrible infrastructure, no communities, no safety, no security, lack of jobs, lack of investment, low rental rates, low property value. That is PNM. So a few people boo, and that's a story Express. That's why all you're busting. That's why nobody taking your. And to all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, this PNM fake news media, I keep telling y'all are doing very well, you know. Because Guardian Media Limited, 14 to 20 million loss. Newsday, busting, car support, car pay salaries, going for mass retrenchment because they are not newspapers, they are not journalists, they are not the fourth estate. When all you come, all you do call me because you all are not journalists. You see, the principle is that the government must account to the population. So when you have a country with a fourth estate, which includes journalists who ask fair, balanced, hard questions, then it is incumbent upon the political figures and those duly elected. They have a responsibility to respond to those questions. However, when the fourth estate is turned into a band of prostitutes and not journalists, where propaganda is the norm, where they're beholden, where they receive houses from the PNM, and they have PNM in their DNA and PNM in their mind, and they want to become a propaganda machine for one political party, then they've given up that right to be treated with respect. So I have no question. A little bother. As I say, CNC3, fire burn you. Guardian, fire burn you. Newsday, fire burn you. Express, fire burn you. I have nothing to say. I will talk here on doubles and coffee, Douglas politics, and to the people directly. That's the beauty of social media. You get to respond and to alert and to inform the public directly without games. So until the PNM fake media wants to return to the principles of journalism, not the principles of journalistic prostitution, then all they stay there, keep printing your PNM propaganda. That's why all you're busting. That's why all you're losing money. Guardian, you'll stay open because Answer McCall Group makes money in other areas, so they will take the loss. They will use it as a loss leader to try to influence the perception and the mindshare of the people. Kamala is not booed. Kamala is loved. Kamala is respected. Kamala is moving this country forward. Kamala has opened the country for business. Kamala will make us safer. Kamala will create jobs. Kamala does not want her children to cut grass. But Faris Harawi, that lying clown, stand up in a tight jersey and say he wants his children to cut grass. Well, go and tell him, take his children out of wherever they are now, whatever degree they're doing, whatever dreams and goals he had, and give them a waka. These men are so sick. They're disgusting and pathological. Imagine a man who went in a cabinet, recused himself over 100 times, rent out his own building from that same cabinet that he swore to be the Attorney General, who made $148 million in 9.5 years with his salary, perks, and rentals, is telling you poor people that he wants his beloved children to go on the road and cut grass all day for minimum wage. A total, blatant lie. And he stand up there with a straight face and then ask y'all to vote for him. But something had to be wrong with y'all. If y'all don't know that that is a total flipping lie, then something wrong with you. He want his children in a fluorescent vest cutting grass on the side of the road with a cone protecting them from mad, crazy drivers who could lick them down anywhere. Really? Well, then he need to check into St. Anne's. I have 3 beautiful children, and I never for one moment dreamt of them cutting grass. In fact, when my son, who's a lawyer now, was playing the fool and liming a bit too much when he had exams, I called him right here. His mother complained, and I said, son, Daddy can't tell you not to lime, because Daddy loves to lime. All over the country, Daddy does lime with the people on the ground, by the bar, on the beach, in Tobago, fishing. I said, so me, I can't tell you to lime. But what I could tell you is that in Daddy life, all the years he limed, he went and do exam and get all A's. I said, so you liming with some boys who may have Daddy have business and thing, and they go get work no matter how dunce they is. I said, but when you fail your exam, don't come to look for Daddy to give you nothing. What Daddy have here is a fluorescent vest for you. And when you fail your law exams, you put on that fluorescent vest with pride and you go and cut the grass. Because I love you. And I will check you at least once every 6 hours and bring a bottle of water for you to drink in the hot sun. Well, suffice it to say, he went and studied. He's now a lawyer and he's learning the trade. He's absolutely doing brilliantly. But me, as his father, I never dreamt for one moment and said, hey, I want my beloved son to go and cut grass all day. Faris Al-Rawi, you're a nasty, disgusting liar. And for people to listen to that kind of tomfoolery and then even consider voting for PNM, think about the mens rea, think about the mindset of a pathological liar like that. The next one who say he have a cold pot. And he will ride a bike while he's filling up his Range Rover. The next one will tell you, you can't go movie tongue. Don't eat ham. You have to cut back. These are serious things. These people are mad. Faris is a madman. And by the way, Faris, don't rush it now. The police come in. Bless.